Hello, this is CityScape, a regular vodcast of people, places, and things that impact Livonia and Westland. I'm Dan West with the Livonia Chamber of Commerce. Today we visit a unique spot in Livonia where you can enjoy coffee, sandwiches, and pastries served by people carrying out a great mission. Anastasia and Katie's Coffee Shop and Cafe, located near the corner of 7 Mile Merriman, opened in December of 2019 to create a place where people with and without disabilities can work in an inclusive and supportive environment. The coffee shop is an employment program for the nonprofit group My Work Matters, which is focused on advocacy for employment opportunities for those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The shop was named for the daughters of the two nonprofit co-founders, both of whom are teenagers rocking an extra chromosome. We're joined today by Kelly Rockwell, who is the one of the co-founders of the shop and also the executive director of My Work Matters. Kelly, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Give us a story of how you got involved in advocating for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and how you took it to a level that you led to this shop.
So sure. So really, it started when my daughter was born, when she was a tiny baby, and learning that she was going to have a disability that's a visible disability. And then, it really took kind of a life-changing turning point based on her school experiences. We've literally had people say to us, "She does not belong here." And these were people that were looking at paperwork that had a diagnosis and some test scores, and she wasn't in the room, and they had never met her, and they didn't know her. And what we were looking for is the same thing that other parents are looking for, is the opportunity and just to have the best education that we could possibly give her. But we were really only asking for what she was legally entitled to, which was to be included in a regular classroom. So we really had to advocate hard for that to happen for her, and we still have to do that. But the life-changing experience came when I saw younger kids that came up behind her and saw her being included and were asking for the same things for their children, and were told absolutely no. And having seen what they went through, how they were treated, and the toll that it took on their families, and just the fallout from that, it really changed my life and my perspective, knowing that this does happen and that there's people that are able to advocate for themselves and advocate for others, and some people can't, and some people that do, really do suffer.
So it sounds like the My Work Matters you initially started with how do we generally advocate for young people in this situation, and then you guys took it to a new level when you developed Anastasia and Katie's.
Yeah.
Talk about what it took to bring this shop and the vision and how it came to be.
So we had a group of parents that were loosely working on some employment initiatives, like I said, and it happened that one of the people in our group played hockey with someone that knew about this space, that it was really that the space was available and that it would be supported if someone wanted to open a coffee shop that was aligned with our mission, the mission that we have now. So we kind of looked into it, thought, yeah, we think we could do this. We think we could start with this. So we weren't sure exactly how it was going to start, if we were going to be involved with another group and another nonprofit. But as it went along, we ended up thinking, well, we need to do this, and we need to form a nonprofit of an individual nonprofit just to focus on this area. So that's what we ended up doing.
What has been the key to training somebody with the intellectual and developmental disabilities, and how have you been able to make them productive workers?
So I think really the key is finding the right people that understand and have empathy, but mostly it's about getting to know the person, what their strengths are, what their challenges are, and most of the things that we do are remarkably simple things to accommodate our team members. So, it seems overwhelming, like how, when you talk to other businesses or when you talk to teachers, I haven't worked with people with this type of disability. I know it's easy for people to get overwhelmed. I've seen that kind of like fear in people's eyes where they really want to do the right thing, but they don't know what to do. So it's really just talking or communicating with the person, observing, understanding what's important to them, and looking at your work environment and what we can do to make accommodations for the people.
There's a motto you encourage your team to say. What is it and why?
So we say we are good and strong.
And what's the story behind that?
So, well, the story behind it for me is that I loved coffee from a very early age. That was because I had
You liked it good and strong?
Yeah, I had a grandmother who people used to laugh and say this. She liked the coffee so strong and she would make it so strong that the spoon would stand up, and she used an old percolator. And but she would give us coffee. She called it when we were really little. And I think it was mostly cream and sugar with a little bit of coffee in there, but we started really liking it. And I just always remember she would take an afternoon nap, and then when she got up, she would say, "Oh, all I need now is a good strong cup of coffee." And I always thought about her saying that because it's something she said every day. And I really liked it, thinking about those memories about coffee. And then I thought, that we have become good and strong. We're trying to do good things with good people here. And doing that has made us stronger, and then everyone likes good and strong coffee.
What are the shop's hours? When are you guys open?
So we're open Tuesday through Friday, starting at 7 a.m. and until 2 p.m., and on Saturdays from 8 to 3 p.m.
And other than coming in and buying food and drink from your house, can people support the work you do?
So there's quite a few ways, but we also offer catering services now, where we offer box lunches, sandwich trays, pastry trays, coffee totes, bagels, muffins, that sort of thing. So we can provide small and large lunches from groups from sizes 10 to 100. Outside of that, I think really being conscious whether you work in a large corporation. A lot of companies have inclusion initiatives, but I always ask, do they have a disability inclusion initiative? Does that disability inclusion initiative include neurodiverse disabilities? Because I still see that as being an area where most companies don't have that. So if you're within a large company, evaluating that and trying to figure out if there are ways that you can be more disability friendly and promote those initiatives from within. And then supporting, there's other small businesses that have missions similar to ours and other organizations around. So supporting those places, like we have Mod Market right here in Northville. And just choosing, at the holidays, maybe think about patronizing those places instead of some of the larger stores.
Well, Kelly, I thank you for your time today, and congratulations to you and your team for making this shop happen. You're 4 years in, and I know many people in this community are amazed by the work you folks have done. So
thank you.
Congrats to all of you. So that's all the time we have for this edition of Cityscape. We thank you for finding time to join us. We'll see you again next time.